Introduction to computers. We talked about drive, graphics, and images, and did group work on a spreadsheet. Today is Monday. We are getting started on week 7, and this is day 18 of the course. We talked about drive, purpose, mastery, and autonomy. We reviewed a little bit. We talked about change, we talked about grit, growth mindset, willingness to fail. Then Daniel Pink and the idea of drive, intrinsic motivation. We had the students post, where is money a motivator? You know, they might say everything or some things or whatever. The whole idea is if you pay people a reasonable amount of money, you can take money off the table, not as a factor, and people could then be more interested in the purpose of what they're doing, working towards mastery and having autonomy over what they do. We're going to talk about Wednesday or Friday, probably Friday. Then we talked about graphics and images, and 2 different types. We have pixels, bitmapped. We use dots to create a picture, and then we have vector graphics, something like Adobe Illustrator does graphics. And in spreadsheets, when we talked about charts, it's supposed to be a name, talked about charts, and we talked about a pie, bar graph, line graph, and then I gave the little example of here, during World War II, Britain was losing planes. We had where they started, then we had this date, and in order to talk Winston Churchill into not sending planes into Germany, some of his generals said, you know, this is where we're going to end up at this particular point in time in the future. And then he decided to just protect the homeland and quit sending planes over there. I used Dropbox as an example of a place where you could have people store lots of images. We did it for a family reunion as an example. And then we looked at how do you get images? How did we get images of old pictures when I was a baby, okay? Okay, there I am as a baby. We had to scan the images. People could take pictures of them with their camera. They can do those 3-in-1 printers that usually will scan. You could scan them in there. And when we do that, you have to be interested or concerned about how big you're scanning them. How many pixels are you going to use? So, one other example, I logged in the Dropbox from the computer at school, and my phone got a message telling me, okay, a new device checked into your Dropbox, which is a really nice feature. And we briefly talked about 2-factor authentication. And that's the case where you authenticate, you type in your username and password, and then the system sends you back some type of code either to your phone or to your email. You enter that code and then you get in. 2-factor authentication. We talk more about that later on. Alright, so then we worked spreadsheets in groups, and we're covering a section a day in Unit 4, and that'll work out just right. So on Wednesday, we talk about hypertext. On Wednesday, we talk about hypertext, and we're going to start talking about websites. Alright, so that's it.